and welcome to Pilates with Kendra. I'm going to take you through just a quick series, maybe about 10 minutes of exercises you can do just to strengthen and free up your back if you suffer from back discomfort. We will be using a Pilates ball just to help stabilize your core. So we're going to start with that between our knees as we lay down on our back. So come on down with me, place the ball between your knees, and you're just going to lay long in your posture. Your chin is tucked in, shoulder blades are nice and level to the floor, and your pelvis is level. So it's important that we find our neutral alignment through our spine. So we've got that little bit of pocket of air between that lower back and the floor, where our hip bones are nice and level, and our sacrum lies flat at the back. We're going to make sure the ribs are drawn in, our upper back is nice and flat, and chin in, like I said. From here, you're just going to squeeze gently on your ball, just to encourage the inner thighs to engage. As you breathe out, I want you to flatten your back into the floor. So we imprint the lower back with a soft tissue into the floor. And then breathe in to rock the pelvis back to neutral. You're going to exhale, flatten the back. So as you flatten the back, think about pulling up through pelvic floor, wrapping on your transverse abdominals, and then breathe into reset. So exhale to flatten. Inhale to neutral. Exhale to flatten. So the only thing moving is just that little tip of your tail. And then release. And again, so you're tucking under. So I've got no more pressure going through that ball at this stage. You're going to do one more. We're going to keep that imprint of the spine, keep the chin tucked in, squeeze on the ball to create that tension through the pelvis and a little bit of inner thigh reaction. And then from here, keeping that squeeze on the ball, keeping your glutes relaxed, press into your feet and slowly, if you can, tuck that tail and lift your hips up towards the ceiling. Take a breath in at the top. We want our ribs, hips and knees in our straight line here. And then breathe out to roll smoothly back down. If that's uncomfortable on your back on takeoff and landing, just see if you can focus on using your breath to work through it. Exhale, flatten the back, push into the feet, track the knees straight forward, squeezing on that ball as you lift. And then lowering back down. So each and every part of your spine, you want to see if you can get it to imprint on the ground. And going again. So tucking that tail, squeezing the thighs as you're lifting up, and then smoothly lowering back down. On this next one at the top, we're going to slowly lift and hold. So imprint that spine, squeezing on your ball, you're going to hold at the top here. Now this time here at the top, I want you to wrap those glutes on so we've got the engagement through the back of the body. Keep a nice strong squeeze on your ball, lower your hips just halfway, squeeze the button ball and lift up. Lower down halfway, squeeze, lift up. Now as I lift up, I'm using my exhalation and that core engagement. Breathing in, breathing out, glutes and core work simultaneously to lift you up. Pressing through the heels, let's go another 3. Now if that's catching your back, try to tuck your tail a little more and work in a shallower range so your butt muscles have to take more load than your back. Last 2, last 1, then melt your spine back down. From here, keeping your feet just flat to the floor, you're going to slowly squeeze on that ball and release. Exhale, grip the ball and release. As you grip that ball, really think about drawing these transverse abdominal muscles in or creating that wrap from around the back of the body in towards the center line here. Keep going for 3, 2, and 1. Holding that squeeze and release. Now this time you're just going to squeeze from one side or one knee in towards your center line. So squeezing your right knee in and release. In and release. So it just allows you to identify if you have any stability around the back of the instability around the back of the hips, and areas we want to make sure we work on, strengthening both sides together as well as individually. Okay, I want you to do 5 on that left leg, squeezing in and release. Last 2. And last 1. Holding there, nice work. Okay, from here you're going to slowly take that ball out from behind your, from between your knees, lift your butt up and place that ball just securely under your lower back here. So the ball is going to create a cushion but also feedback for us as we're moving. Tuck your chin in and just have your hands down by your sides. Now the ball is going to create that instability, right? So we want to make sure the ball position is half on our pelvis, half on our lower back, creating that nice neutral alignment. So we're not flat back and we're not arch back. We're just still neutrally aligned. From here, you're just going to keep your spine long and half on your lower back. So you're going to be nice and level. As you exhale, you're going to slide one heel out along the ground and then breathing in to come back in. Exhale, slowly change for the other side. So you want to make sure that you're moving, your pelvis stays nice and level, and you're sliding that leg in and out. You can naturally feel that feedback through those lower abdominals as you're sliding out and back in. So you're not aiming for any certain amount of repetitions here. Try and do a couple each side so you're just leveling out. And then if you're feeling nice and stable and comfortable through that lower back, see if you can float one leg up off the floor and then slowly lower it back down. So we're just slowly increasing your range of motion as well as increasing your intensity. So making sure that you're moving as smoothly as you can, creating that stability around your pelvis as you move. So just creating that awareness. And then just one more, so we're just evening up both sides. And on this next one, hold that leg here, draw your belly in, so you're drawing the belly in towards the ball, and then we float both legs up. Now from here, you're going to slowly tap one foot down. So you'll notice straight away you're going to tighten those lower abdominals to keep yourself more stable. So the good thing about using the ball, it does give you that feedback, and it does allow you that cushioning. So it's a good way to target straight into those lower abs with the hips slightly elevated. So if this feels good for you, continue it, but just go slowly and work within your range. Anytime, feel free just to rest if it feels too much for you. And then the next level from here, you can go from a tabletop and slowly extending one leg out and back in. Out and back in. And evening up at both sides. We're only aiming for a couple of reps of each, just to make sure we're firing those muscles up. Then bending the knees back in, and lower one foot at a time down towards the floor. Lift the hips up, and then from here, we're just going to roll that spine back down. Now you're going to place that ball underneath the shoulder blades. So from here, having your feet onto the floor, and your pelvis nice and level, your shoulder blades are comfortably just rested on the ball. Hands come back behind the head, and you're going to slowly just extend your spine, if that feels comfortable, to rest your head to the floor. Exhale, lift up head and shoulders and draw the belly in, into that crunch, and then slowly extending back. Now you can come back just to here, to your neutral alignment, or you can let your head rest back and get that thoracic stretch, so we're reaching and stretching through that upper back. Exhale to curl up and breathe into lower. Exhale to curl up. Breathe into lower. Just go for another 3. And 2. So I'm not flattening that back, keeping in that same alignment through my spine. And last one here. Now if you're comfortable holding the head, stay there, or if you can let go of the head, draw that belly in, and we're just going to pulse up into the crunch a little more, so we're creating more curve. Now as you lift, you're sliding your ribs towards your hips, curving through that spine, crunching. Keep going for another 5 and 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now you can add more intensity by staying. You can do pulses, reaching into those arms, or if you want to have a rest, take your hands back behind your head and rest over the ball. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a big breath in, everyone, and reach the arms up and over the head. Now from here, find that stretch through your upper back. You can take those elbows nice and wide and just enjoy that stretch. It's bringing you out of your lumbar spine, out of your thoracic spine, and it just feels good. Then from here, just slowly roll yourself off the ball. Easiest to go to one side if you just come through your back. Take that ball back between your knees and open your arms wide. Now you can do this one with your toes to the floor to start. You're going to let your knees drop to one side as we come into the side oblique and lower back stretch. Then knees come up and over to the other side. So let your head look the other way to where your knees are going, and keep your shoulders as your anchor point on the floor. Now you can do it with toes down, or you can hover those legs into the air, twisting from side to side. Exhale to pick the legs up through to the middle. Inhale to lower them across. Now you can always settle the knees completely on the floor here and enjoy the stretch for a moment or two. Or you can do it active by just lifting and rolling side to side. Everyone's different, and from day to day you may feel different. Work it to your range. Let's make this one our last one. Then from here, keeping the ball between your knees, just bring your arms a little lower. We're just going to slowly rock the knees in and release the legs back. So we're starting to get those lower abs to fire. Now if this is comfortable, you want to draw the belly in, see if you can get a little tailbone lift as your knees rock in and out. Okay, so staying with this short range is going to make you feel safe and comfortable. If you're okay and your back's warmed up now, that's when you might want to add a little bit of extension, taking those legs away a little bit or up to the ceiling even. So the higher your legs are above you, the more stable you'll feel through your lower back. The further you take the leverage, the harder it becomes. Let's go last 3, last 2, and last 1, and release. Take that ball out from underneath your legs, roll yourself to one side, and then push yourself to come on up. Okay, and then from here, you're just going to come into a hip stretch. So you're going to take the legs to like a 90-90 position, and then bring the chest forwards. You might like to go here, or you might like to come down onto your forearms, or you might like to extend that back leg and come all the way over into a hurdler stretch or swan pose. Now this is stretching through your buttocks and your lower back, and also this hip on this back leg. You can come up to stretch into that hip flexor and quad if you want as well. But if that's too much on your back, just go where feels good for you. You can hold this for as long as feels good.